friends! For today's video, I will be talking about how I was able to turn my crochet hobby into a full-time business. So in case you're new here, a little backstory. I started crocheting back in January of 2022. My mom bought me a cat sweater crochet kit for Christmas, and I slowly realized that the world of amigurumi is exactly where I needed to be. So honestly, starting a business was kind of a mistake. Like, I never set out to specifically start a crochet business and take it full-time. It just kind of happened. So fast forward to January of this year, January of 2025, I decided to finally take the leap of faith and take my business full-time. Up until this point, I was working full-time as a consultant at a regular 9-to-5 corporate job. So I've been running my business for a little over 3 years now, and I absolutely have loved every minute of it. I can't imagine my life without crochet and without my crochet business, and it's truly a dream come true to be able to take it full-time. And that is why I want to make this video for you guys. I know there are so many talented and aspiring crochet artists out there who would love to take their business full-time as well. So that is why I wanted to make this video, sit down and tell you guys exactly how I was able to do it so you can do it too. But all right, with that, let's get into it. So one of the most important topics that I want to hit on is the topic that I'm about to talk about. If you want to turn your hobby into a full-time business, you need to think long-term when setting up your business. Starting day one, you need to think of it as a full-time business, even if it really isn't in reality. So what does this mean exactly? I feel like one of the biggest mistakes that people make, and one of the mistakes that I made when first starting out, was not thinking about the big picture. I knew I wanted to start a crochet business to start selling plushies, but I didn't really think about what that meant 6 months down the line, a year down the line, etc. And there's certain things that you can do starting day one of your business to really set it up for long-term success. So one of the most important things that you can think about when setting up your business for long-term success is legitimizing it. This means forming an LLC to protect yourself and your personal assets, setting up a legit business bank account, tracking all of your expenses so come tax season, you can deduct all of your supplies and materials, filing taxes in general and filing them correctly. And then finally, I would say protecting your logo and your name by filing for a trademark. A lot of these things are legalities, but it's so important to take this stuff seriously in the very beginning, because once your business grows, it'll be really hard to backpedal, and it potentially could backfire on you if you don't do all of this in the very beginning. And I am in no way like a legal professional. I'm not a tax professional, so take everything I'm saying with a grain of salt, but I will say it is super important to do this before you start going with your business so you can be protected from day one and make sure you're running your business right. But going on to a more lighter note, I feel like logo design and creating your actual business name are one of the most important parts as well in the very beginning to setting up your business. This is because your business name is essentially how people will find you and know you, and this is going to be your brand moving forward. And if you're planning on making social media for your business, it's really important to make sure that your business name is available across all the different platforms. So for example, if you want to create a YouTube, an Instagram, a TikTok, make sure that your business name is available on all of those platforms, because if not, it will be really hard for people to find you. And then same thing with your logo. Make sure it's something that can catch people's attention, it's not too complex, and something that really represents your brand as a whole. And I know that is easier said than done. It took me forever to come up with my logo. It's one of those tasks where you're like, oh, that's not going to take me a while, but it actually takes you forever. And this is actually the perfect time to talk about the sponsor of today's video, Designcom. So in case you didn't already know, Designcom is an all-in-one platform that allows business owners and entrepreneurs to create beautiful logos, business cards, social media designs, print designs, websites, and more. Like I mentioned earlier, usually creating a logo is super tedious, especially if you're not very creative in general, but with Designcom, creating a logo is super effortless. They have a world-class logo maker and the largest library of logos that are exclusive to Designcom. And with their AI-powered logo generator, you'll have so many handcrafted logo designs to choose from. There's also advanced editing features in case you want to make any tweaks, and it's super simple to use. But the best part is, Designcom is more than just logos. They have a whole suite of design tools to help you create beautiful posters, flyers, and other print products. They also have a business card design tool, a website builder, a link in bio creator, and more. And all of the templates for the tools that I just mentioned are automatically customized with your logo's colors for seamless branding. So if you want to create your first logo with Designcom, click the link down below in my description box and you'll get 88% off your first logo. And definitely be sure to check out all of the other amazing tools that Designcom has to offer. Okay, so moving on to my next point, and this point might seem a little counterintuitive, but it's super important. In the very beginning stages of your business, do not prioritize making making profits or a lot of money. I think a big misconception when people first set out to start their own business is that they will make a lot of money very quickly, and I definitely have fallen into the same mentality, especially with the other businesses that I tried to start. This crochet business is not my first rodeo. I've had several businesses in the past and they no longer exist, but that's okay because I learned a lot of important lessons from those businesses, the most important being do not prioritize profits in the very beginning. When you first start a business, nobody really knows you, nobody knows your business, your brand, your aesthetic, your reputation, everything is brand new to everybody. You have to then prove yourself to your customers and show them that like, hey, this brand is something good. You want to shop with me, you want to shop my products, they're actually top tier, the best that you can get. And slowly over time, people will start to realize that and start to associate your business and your brand with high quality, great customer service, the best of the best. And when you get to that point, then you can start prioritizing on profits, you can increase prices, and you should see a lot of that money come flowing in. But before we get to that point, it's really important not to prioritize that. So what should you be prioritizing in the very beginning, you might ask? I always tell people to prioritize getting those first few sales, getting those first few reviews, and just offering the best customer service. It's like putting your best foot forward, really showing everyone what your business has to offer. And I want to segue and say that it does not have to be perfect in the beginning as well. We are all human. We all make mistakes, especially when starting something new. You're going to make mistakes and learn along the way. So don't let the imperfection of your products hold you back from actually launching your business. What I'm trying to say is that you're ultimately trying to build your customers' trust and get them to associate your brand and your store with something of quality and great service. So even if your products aren't perfect in the very beginning, if you offer them great customer service and you provide them with a great experience, your customer will walk away happy. And that is exactly what happened when I first started my business. My crochet plushies were not perfect. They were far from perfect in the very beginning, but I decided to put myself out there, put my work out there, and see what happened. And I really prioritized putting my customer first and not so much prioritizing making money. I ran a lot of sales, which helped entice people to shop from my store. I also offered free shipping, and I made sure to ship everything out super quick. This helped create a really good experience for my customers, and then also this led to me getting really good reviews on my shop. And then over time, my shop had a lot of 5-star reviews, it had a lot of sales history, so people felt comfortable shopping from me. And then I was slowly able to inch back on all of those incentives. I took away the free shipping, I took away the sales, and people still continued to shop. And then finally, I was able to start making really good profits. I was able to increase my prices because there was high demand for my products. And then I was able to shift my mindset. Instead of focusing on building up my business, I was able to focus more on sales and increasing my overall shop sales growth. So hopefully that makes sense. I know a lot of people ask me when they first start out, like, oh, is this too low of a price? Like, I want to make sure I make back my money from what I put into these products. And that is totally valid. I definitely recommend pricing your items to the point where you are able to break even. So don't price them for like $10 if it costs you $20 to crochet them, but definitely don't price them on the high end of the pricing scale. So if you're a new shop and you're selling like a crochet turtle, I would not price that turtle like $50 and above. Even if other people are selling it for that much, I would try to price it towards the lower end of the scale, just so people are able to buy from your shop. You'll be able to get those sales, those reviews, and then over time you can increase your prices up. And I personally use the same strategy when selling my products, and I can say over time you definitely will be able to increase prices. So don't be too freaked out in the very beginning. You will be able to make money from this. It will just take a little bit of time. Okay, so moving on to the next point, I already kind of touched on it, but it is so important to build up your shop's reputation and your shop's brand. When I first opened my shop, I wanted my reputation to be the best handmade crochet plushies out there. So when I was posting on social media and really trying to market my products, I kept that branding in mind and I tried to make sure everything tied back to that brand. That way, when people started seeing my shop and hearing my name, Crochet by Jenna, they would start associating that with the best, cutest handmade plushies. And it's totally fine to pivot your image and your branding as time goes on. When I first started my business, I was solely selling crochet physical plushies, but over time I started making patterns, I started doing YouTube tutorials. So now I pivoted my branding to say like the cutest handmade crochet plushies and patterns. So don't feel like you have to niche down and really focus on one thing. Like I can only sell like like crochet plushies, or I can only sell patterns, or I can only sell safety eyes or sinker eyes. Like, you can do it all. Just make sure you kind of create that brand and that image to encompass all of that. That way, when people think of your business and go to shop from your business, they know exactly, you know, what your business is about and what they're getting from you and what you can offer to them. Okay, moving into the next point, which is I think one of the most important points if you want to eventually take your business full time, especially as a crocheter. So let's be honest, crochet is a super manual intensive craft. At the end of the day, behind a lot of these small businesses is just one person. And being a one-person show makes it really hard to scale a business. If you think about all of the businesses out there that are like multi-million dollar huge companies, they all have thousands of employees. They're able to streamline the process. They're not hand making every single item. They have manufacturers, they have people shipping out the product, they have people packing up the product, handling admin stuff, handling all of the finances. They have a whole team. So bringing it back to the small business side, when there's truly just like one person running the show, you have to think, how am I going to get this to a point where I'm able to sustain this business by myself and have it be able to be full-time in the long run? And the key to that is branching out and creating multiple different streams of income for yourself and your business. So like I mentioned earlier, when I first started out, I only sold crochet plushies. So again, that is super manual intensive. I was the one crocheting all of these orders, making all of the plushies, packaging them up, reaching out to customers, all of that good stuff. And that took up a lot of time. I cannot tell you the amount of times where every minute of the day I was crocheting, and it got to a point where it was super stressful. I would get burnt out, and then at that point I just don't enjoy crocheting, and I never want that to happen. Like, at the end of the day, this is a hobby, this is something that you love to do. You never want it to get to a point where you feel stressed, you don't want to do it, you're burnt out, like all of the joy is sucked away, like you just don't want to go down that path. So to help balance things out and put a lot of the stress off of me and a lot of the work off of me, I created some different income streams, and these essentially would bring in additional income for my business and for myself without me having to do a lot of the physical crocheting. And setting up multiple streams of income is so important if you do want to set yourself up for consistent long-term stability and growth. Without these streams of income, I do not think I would feel comfortable going full-time, nor do I think it would be feasible to go full-time if I only had my one source of income, which is me crocheting orders. Realistically, I just do not think that would have been possible. So in terms of all of the different streams of income, there are so many options that you can choose from, and it will really vary person to person, like what works best for you. My streams of income include my online shop, both Etsy and my Shopify, YouTube, where I get paid for the views that my videos get, collaborations and sponsorships. This comes from both YouTube and Instagram and social media in general, my Patreon, which is like a membership service. And the fifth bucket is kind of like ad hoc. I would say maybe like affiliate marketing, so like my Amazon storefront, referral money, which comes from me recommending certain brands to you guys. And yeah, I think that's it. I was trying to think through all of the different streams. So those are my buckets, but it will vary person to person. I'd say the most popular income streams are YouTube, affiliate marketing, Patreon, or like some type of membership service, and of course selling online, having a shop. And one of the most key things to realize is that you do not have to like set up 10 different businesses to bring in all of these different streams of income. All of these streams of income can come from one business that you have, and if you're able to like hone in on that one business that you've created and create all of these streams of income, that is key. But don't feel like you need to start up all these different businesses. I feel like I've seen a lot of like TikToks and videos of people saying like the 10 jobs that they have that bring in their income. Like, if you're able to just tap into that one business that you have, you will be able to create multiple streams just from that. My camera ended up dying, you guys. I'm sorry. But we're back now, and let's move on to the next point. So once your business is up and running, you have some sales, you have some 5-star reviews, your brand is getting noticed, how do you keep growing from there and bring it eventually to a full-time level? I would honestly say the key is to keep consistent and stay patient. I know this is a super cliche thing to say, but if you don't stay consistent with your business and continue like nurturing it, it really won't go anywhere. It's like with anything in life. If you stay stagnant, you don't have an opportunity to keep improving, to keep growing, expanding. That's why it's important to keep at it, keep posting consistently, keep putting out new products, and try to get into a nice groove. I personally try to come out with at least 2 new patterns each month, and I will will say having a Patreon helps me stay on track because I'm kind of like obligated to come out with 2 patterns for my patrons each month, but in turn that helps me stay on track as well. And by having a consistent schedule, my followers know what to expect from me each month. They like to follow me so they can keep up with all of my latest patterns, and it really starts to build like a form of community. I think that is so key to growing your audience as well, is to really just like form a community with your followers, with your customers, and really create something like special. And I know that's easier said than done, but by posting consistently, your followers and your customers will definitely get to know you, get to know your business, and they'll be more invested to follow you along and see what new products you come up with. They'll be more likely to shop from you, shop your new launches, your new products, etc. And when I say staying consistent, this consistency varies from person to person. I do not recommend like posting every single day and creating all these new products every month. Like that will definitely lead to burnout, and it's just a lot of pressure to put on yourself, honestly. I've definitely have been there, and I personally have even scaled back. I used to post every day, but now I've scaled it back to posting every other day, not posting on weekends, just kind of, you know, playing around with the schedule. That's the beauty of running a small business as well. There is no right and wrong. You can truly do things however you want and kind of like test the waters and see what happens. But I'd say once you kind of narrow down and find what works for you, stick to it, keep at it, and eventually over time you will definitely see your business blossom. And there's nothing more rewarding than to see your business grow. But again, I've definitely been there where I have had a business in the past and I saw no growth and I got very frustrated. It's very disheartening. And honestly, the difference between my like failed businesses in the past and my crochet business now is that I have stuck with crochet. I crochet almost every day. I love it. It's my passion. I've stayed consistent with my social media. I've tried to create a fun community space for my followers and my customers, and I've just stayed patient with it. Whereas with my other businesses, I did not devote a lot of time to them. I just thought, you know, hey, I'm gonna start this drop shipping company. Why aren't I like bringing in all this money? I definitely lacked passion with my other businesses as well. I feel like that is another key thing. It's like you gotta love what you do, because when you love what you do, then you'll want to spend time. You'll want to pour all of your energy into it. Whereas if you're just doing something for the money and you're just doing it because it's like hot or trendy right now, it doesn't necessarily correlate to you wanting to do it and putting all of your time and effort and being consistent with it. So it kind of like goes hand in hand. And I know it's super hard, but you just have to be patient sometimes as well, especially when you're first starting out. I'd say the first few months, even the first year of running your business, it will be slow. You probably will not reach your like peak performance until a few years later. At least that's how it worked for me, but it is important to take note of the small successes and the small achievements that you make along the way to keep you motivated and to keep going. When you get your first sale, when you get your 10th sale, when you get your 20th sale, like definitely celebrate that, pat yourself on the back, and realize how far your business has come. Success is all just a concept. Like there is no true form of success. It's what we make it. So definitely remind yourself and be gentle with yourself and give yourself grace and tell yourself like, wow, I'm running a business all by myself. Like I'm doing this. I started this from nothing. 1 sale, 100 sales, it all means the same thing. Like you are crushing it. Do not get discouraged by the numbers. Don't get discouraged by the finances. Just have fun. Try to really enjoy the process, because you'll look back one day and you'll be like, wow, I'm really glad that I stuck with it. I'm glad that I pushed through and I kept believing in myself and my business, because look at what it's become. And with that, I want to touch on our last point, which is running a business is one big trial and error process. It's a constant learning experience. You're constantly improving. You're constantly learning new ways to improve. You're learning how to make new products. You're brainstorming how to offer better things to your customers, how to market your products better, how to just run your social media better. There's like constantly things that you can change, improve on, and really just like learn along the way. And running a business is one of those things where you can read a million books or you can listen to a million videos, but until you do it yourself, nothing can really prepare you until you actually experience it for yourself firsthand. It's because everybody's journey is different. We're all running different businesses. We'll all encounter different customers, but hopefully by watching this video, you guys will feel a little bit more prepared, a little bit inspired, and really truly believe in yourself, because I believe that anyone out there who wants to start their own business and eventually take it full time, they can. And if you're watching this video and your Etsy is in a lull, or if you haven't gotten that many sales, definitely don't be afraid to switch things up. Like I mentioned earlier, it's all about trial and error. Maybe switch up all of your listing photos, take new listing videos, change up the title, change the prices, run a sale, offer free shipping, maybe even pay for some paid marketing on Etsy or even like Facebook ads, put up some new products, take down products, like whatever you want to do, you can try it out. The worst thing that could happen is that nothing happens, you don't get any sales, and then you can cross that off the list. But definitely do not get down if your business doesn't have much traction yet. It definitely will, especially if you're first starting out. Just try to push through these beginning few months, get those first few sales, get those first few reviews, and I promise there will be more coming in the future for you. And just know with every mistake that you make, your business will get better, you will be a better business owner, and you'll know how to handle these things in the future way better. So I think that hits on all of my major points for this video and how to turn a hobby, specifically a crochet hobby, into a full-time business. If you want to learn how to start an Etsy from start to finish, like a step-by-step tutorial, I have that on my channel as well. I'll link it down below. I also have videos teaching you guys how to pattern design for the first time, also my biggest tips and tricks for selling online in general. So definitely check out all of those videos if you're interested in more of these business related topics. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. I will definitely be filming more business type videos in the future. But all right, with that, I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I'm wishing you guys all of the best. I'm sending all of the good vibes and success your way. Never give up on yourself or your dreams. Definitely keep pushing. I believe in you guys. But all right, I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye!